Innovation comes at a price. Groundbreaking designs can transform the world, changing everything in their path. But revolutionary change always brings risk. Sometimes, reliability and competence matter most. Enter the G36, a modern assault rifle designed for contemporary Germany. But why did Germany take so long to adopt a 5.56mm rifle, the smaller NATO standard bullet? Why did H&K move away from their proven roller-delayed blowback mechanisms, a type of gun action that uses rollers to delay the opening of the bolt after firing? And what challenges did a polymer-framed rifle pose? The 1960s and 70s marked a turning point in small arms development. Advances in materials and military doctrine threatened to make the traditional battle rifle obsolete. As a result, the trend shifted towards smaller, lighter rifles firing intermediate cartridges. The Americans had the M16, the Soviets the AKM. West Germany had relied on the G3 since the 1950s, a solid rifle, but increasingly seen as outdated. Soldiers who carried the G3 described it as reliable but heavy, sometimes joking that it was built like a tank, a sentiment that reflected a growing desire for something more modern and manageable. Caseless ammunition promised a radical shift, reduced cost and weight, smaller cartridges, and no need for extraction. The benefits were clear. Still, technical challenges loomed, formidable ones. Most NATO members abandoned caseless ammo by the late 1960s. West Germany did not. Heckler & Koch led the Gesellschaft für Herrenlosen Gewehrsystem consortium in developing the G11 rifle. Over 2 decades, H&K refined prototypes, gradually solving obstacles. The G11 became a symbol of German ambition. It sometimes felt like we were chasing science fiction, recalled one Bundeswehr tester. Despite these ambitious efforts, practical realities soon intervened. In 1990, the G11 was approved for Bundeswehr service and set to replace the G3, an engineering marvel. But the transition stalled. German reunification and the end of the Cold War cut budgets, halting investment in new rifles. H&K was left 180 million Deutschmarks in debt. The G3 remained Germany's standard, so a conventional replacement was needed. H&K had experience with 5.56mm rifles, adapting the G3 into the export-only HK33, while West Germany focused on caseless ammo. Building on these lessons, the HK33 succeeded in Brazil, Thailand, and Malaysia. When NATO adopted the 5.56 by 45mm cartridge in 1980, H&K introduced the G41 in 1981. Compatible with NATO standards, the G41 was intended as the G11's companion, but it was twice the cost and 25% heavier than the M16, making it unpopular. Recognizing these shortcomings, H&K realized that a lighter, more adaptable, and affordable rifle was needed. So they started Project 50. The G36 used extensive polymer parts to reduce weight. H&K replaced its signature roller-delayed blowback with a gas-operated, short-stroke piston action. This change provided weight savings and better ammunition compatibility. The final design was finished in 1995 and was quickly approved. Production began the next year. The G36 was not revolutionary, but it was practical and timely, built on proven tech. When it reached Bundeswehr units in 1997, soldiers were positive. It felt modern and light, and the controls were intuitive, recalled one user. Spain soon adopted it, replacing the CETME rifles in 1999. The G36 offered a pragmatic contrast to the G11. It was a gun that simply worked. As the G36 entered service, its influence began to spread. Today, police and military units worldwide use variants of the G36. The original model featured a dual optic system, a 3.5x scope for long range and a 1x red dot sight for quick targeting. For export, the G36V variant included a 1.5x scope and NATO bayonet mount. The G36K introduced a shorter barrel and lower rail, while the compact G36C traded the integrated sight for accessory rails. The MG36 served as a squad support weapon with a heavy barrel and a 100-round magazine. Civilian shooters got the SL8, a semi-automatic, and the R8, a straight bull bolt action. The G36's design also laid the groundwork for the XM8, a rifle system for the US Army. Although the XM8 outperformed the M4 in some respects, it wasn't adopted. The G36 has been a largely successful service rifle. It is not without flaws though. Despite its straightforward design, problems developed. The integrated scope was criticized, the dual optic unit could fog, and some export models struggled with zero retention. Worse, the polymer frame could warp or melt under sustained heat. Accuracy suffered when optics were attached to the plastic rail. Afghanistan's heat made this worse. In 2012, long firefights increased the risk. As one soldier said, after a long firefight, the point of impact could shift. You weren't hitting where you aimed. Addressing these criticisms, investigations initially blamed ammunition, but soon the rifle itself was identified as the problem. By 2015, discussions on a replacement began. The Heckler & Koch MK556 was initially chosen, but after legal disputes over H&K patents, the HK416A8 was selected and designated the G95A1. Deployment started in 2024. Unlike the G36, the HK416A8 is based on the AR-15/M16 platform, reflecting NATO's preference for proven, modular systems. While the G36's operational tenure was not lengthy, its cultural impact has been substantial. By 1999, the rifle was making appearances in film, including an early role in The World Is Not Enough, where an assassin uses it in an attempt on James Bond. This is one of the first appearances of the rifle in cinema. Its angular, black design lends the G36 a modern, almost futuristic look without seeming outlandish, instantly recognizable as a rifle, yet high-tech and formidable. Unlike the AK or M16, the G36 occupies a unique position, unencumbered by the political associations that have shaped its rivals. It stands as a symbol of the post-Cold War era, its sharp lines and poised appearance conveying authority and intent. On set, armorers have praised the G36's handling, citing its balance and pointability qualities that translate well to the screen. This positive reputation paralleled its rise in popular culture during the tactical first-person shooter boom of the early 2000s, with notable appearances in games like SWAT 3, Rainbow Six 3, and Stalker. In these games, the G36's unique optics and silhouette made it a fan favorite, offering players a break from the typical AR-15 clones. When the G36 was first introduced, it stood out as a fresh addition to the arsenal, something new and interesting to spot. Its presence in video games, known for realistic weapon selections, further solidified its distinctiveness, bringing little in the way of surprises beyond its distinctive look. Functionally, it performs much like any other assault rifle. Its one notable difference, the unique dual optical sight found on original, non-export models, is rarely featured. While some games, like Stalker, include it, the G36 more often appears with export scopes or simple iron sights. Even without its signature optics, the rifle remains a favorite among enthusiasts. Unsurprisingly, it's beloved in Germany, but its appeal goes further. It's refreshing to see a modern gun that isn't just another AR-15 derivative. The G36 possesses a quiet confidence, not extraordinary in any single aspect, but that's precisely its charm. It doesn't try to be a revolution, it's simply a rifle. The G36 is a testament to compromise, a pragmatic solution born of necessity after bolder dreams faltered. Developed swiftly and under tight budgets, it delivered precisely what was required, a reliable rifle for a changing era. It was never meant to be flawless or permanent, and its shortcomings were acknowledged from the outset. Yet, the G36's true legacy is its unyielding effectiveness when it mattered most. In the hands of soldiers and on screen, it surpassed its interim status. By performing its duty with quiet reliability, the G36 secured its legacy, not as a failed innovation, but as the definitive answer to a moment's need.